Hi guys, this is Lady Lily. I should be on the air and everything should be right. I am trying to live stream my computer screen and show you guys how to create a character on Pathfinder's 2nd edition playtest. Again, I don't know if this is working properly because I don't see my camera in the corner. It says that I am streaming, but maybe it only shows it to you guys and I don't get to see it. And every time I try to start doing this, I end up getting a runny nose. For some reason, I haven't even sneezed. I don't even know. In any case, let's see. Let me look at my channel. See if anything's up. It says that I'm live. Okay, so it is working somehow. For some reason, it's got it on some weird name. I will have to edit that. I don't even know if I can edit it while I'm. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix this. Yay! Somebody who doesn't actually know how to do their YouTube stuff, but I'm trying. Why is it edited it to this is tests and all this stuff. See what settings. It didn't even ask me what to name my. So I will get to the stuff of making a character, but I would like to know what I'm, why the name isn't right. Let me pull up my browser here. Hopefully I don't have anything bad on it. I don't think I do. Now it stopped streaming. Okay, it pulled up. Wait, Billy and Mandy's live? What the heck? So going to my character creator, stream creator. It should have said that I was live now. See, there we go. It says I'm live. Why it named it this, I have no idea. Let's come back over here and rename this. I don't know what I'm doing here. Pathfinder Playtest. Or actually Pathfinder 2nd edition. Playtest. Character creation. It will be adult rated, but we're just gonna leave it at that. Leave that. For some reason it says my strength is low. I don't know. Let's see. Not entirely sure how to save that, but we'll just. Let's change some thumbnails, shall we? So now I'm going to close, or just go back home. I don't know. See if it changed the name. Yay! It did change the name. Good. Okay, I can close this now. Maybe the next time I do this, the first 5 minutes won't be of trying to do this. Alright. I also don't know how the sound is going, but oh well. I should probably also have plugged my phone up I don't have my... Oh! There's my dinner going off. Yay! Okay, so, first off, let's pull up the rulebook. Now, if you haven't heard much about... Well, if you're looking for this, I'm sure you've read some about the playtest. It's for the 2nd edition of Pathfinder. It's been turning out okay. I'll talk about our game later. Right now we're just going into the character creation. First off, I'm going to take you to the end of the book and show you the character sheets. They are different than the 1st edition character sheets. They are horizontal. So that's your spell page. Then you have your class feats, your equipment page, and then your front page, which has your class, your race, or ancestry as it's called, all your hit points, your armor, weapons, and your stats. And there's a bug flying right in front of my face. Yay me. And your skills. There's some other new things in here, and we'll get to them as we get to them. So back up to the top. Let's get back to the ancestries and backgrounds and creating your characters page. So the first thing that I learned the way you should go about this is doing something called ABCs. Your ancestry, your background, and your class. Of course, in here there's how do I play the Pathfinder, and game master supplies, things like that, basic concepts, what different actions are, and I'll go ahead and go over that real quick. You have actions have different symbols in the book. So a regular action, there's 3 actions per round. Instead of you having a standard action, a move action, and swift action, free actions, you have just 3 actions and a reaction. And these are the 3 symbols for each thing that you're for each action that you want to do. Casting a spell, it depends on how many actions it takes. Instead of it being, oh, it's a standard action, oh, it's a swift action, it's 1 action, 2 action, or 3 action. You can also, like with certain spells, you can only use 1 action to do it, or you can spend more of your actions to make the spell better, make it do different things. Like in 5th edition D&D, there are reactions now. I guess there might have been in 1st edition, there really wasn't reactions, you had immediate actions, what they were called. And granted, I'm not the best on this. My GM would also be great to be in here correcting me when I say things wrong, but he's not. So, yay. But then those are just like in 5th edition, if you're familiar at all with 5th edition. Those are, you get 1 per round, unless there's other feats and things that might help with that. But you have actions and things that are reactions, as it says, are similar to actions in their effects, but are used differently. You can spend 1 reaction per round, and only when its specified trigger is fulfilled. You can use your action on your turn or another character's turn, as long as the trigger is satisfied. Often the trigger is another creature's action. And then free actions. Free actions start with this symbol, which is an action without the color in it. Free actions follow the same triggers, rules as reactions, and like reactions, you can use them on your turn or another character's turn. Unlike with actions or reactions, you can use as many reactions per round as you like, as long as their triggers occur. However, a specific trigger can trigger only one of the character's reactions. I really need to grab my charger for my phone, because I am so smart. This is great. Format of rules, elements, different difficulty, class, modifiers. That's a lot of stuff. Key terms, hit points. There is a new key term in, I don't know, it should be a key term. Not necessarily sure if it's in the key terms. No, doesn't look like it was in the key terms. Oh, here's a new thing that changed. Different things have different names now. A stride is your speed. How it would have been in first edition, where is your move action? That is a stride. That is your speed. So if your character has 25 feet of movement and you want to move 25 feet or up to 25 feet, you would stride, and that's one action. A step, I don't know if it, no, it does not say it on here, is a 5-foot step. How in the first edition you had a free 5-foot step if you didn't want to take your move action, you wanted to keep it to do a full round action, and you could still take that 5-foot step. Jeez. So many things I should have thought of before I did this, but whatever, because I wish I could get that to go away. I don't know how to get that to go away. I'm sure there's a way to get it to go away, but I don't know how to get it to go away. So, it'll just sit there, I guess. Oh wait, that's how you get it to go away. Haha! Yay! I'm great. Yeah. I'm not even drinking right now. Maybe I should be. I don't know. Alright, so this is your character sheet. This, funny enough, it gives you the first page and lays out all those little things there and says 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, 2. Why are there 2? 3, 2. What is 2? Oh. Okay. Haha. I never really looked at this layout really as like it telling you what it does. So it tells you about different things on this page. It doesn't tell you what some of the different things are on the spell page, but that's what it looks like right side up, so it's not long ways. Yeah. And also this right here, that's the adventure path that came with it. Funny thing about that adventure path, we'll get to that later, another video. Yeah. So you want to determine your character's concept. I have thought absolutely nothing about this. I don't think I have any people watching to chat with. Hey, it says I actually have 2 people watching. That's weird. Other person should say hi, so I don't feel like... Never mind, doesn't matter. So anyways, the core races that are in here are right here, actually. I'm so used to saying races. I mean, they are races. They are races, but they call them ancestries. That is the A of the ABCs. Technically, it's also, in creating your character the way I do it, it's ABCF, because the ABCs are part of your getting your stats, because there's no dice rolling. Well, there's a way to do dice rolling, but that's not what we're going over today. We're just going over standard how to create your character. And so no dice, so my beautiful dice tray is sitting on the other side of this table. I miss my dice. I liked rolling dice. But that's neither here nor there. Dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, halfling, human. There's the asterisk there. You notice that there is no half elf, half orc, tiefling, ASMR. That's because with the others, they didn't put them in. With the tiefling and ASMR, they didn't put them in here. I bring those up specifically because to me they're sort of like the half elf and half orc, but they're two parts of. They're kind of the half good or half evil race. They're not really, but that's what's in my mind, so that's the way it works for me. You're getting my point of view on this. I'm sure there's other videos that are a lot better, but if you're watching this, thanks. In any case, and when it says ability boost right here, right there, blue screen. That's what you're going to, there's no, until you pass level 18, until your score passes 18, there's no odd numbers. You start at 10, and it goes, your boost it by 2 to keep it at an even number so that you have your modifier. Because in the past, in first edition, I think in 3.5, I don't know, the only things that I know enough to even say anything about is 5th edition, because of watching a streaming show from online, and which we all should know what that show is if you're watching this video, and playing Pathfinder 1st edition. So you never really needed the exact stat number. You need the modifier. That's what you use for everything, is you use the modifier. So instead of adding +2 or +1 for this and -1 for that, it's even numbers, and you're making your modifier go up by 1 each time. So, your modifier go up by 1, your stat go up by 2? No, these give you +2. Yes, these give you +2. My bad. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes. Haha. I'm great. I'm not at all tired or talking out of yes. In any case, so start with a dwarf. You get a +2 to Constitution or a boost. The way I do it is I write down in columns A, B, C, and then F for free, because at the end you also get 4 free boosts, but we'll cover that later when we get to F. And then I'll write down the stats: strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and which I'm going to go ahead and do now, because I'm not sure what we're playing yet. Strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Alrighty, and then an A, a B, a C, and an F. Alright, so go ahead and write those down. Not sure what I want to play. Let's go look at our classes real quick, just so we can get kind of an idea of what we're going to play. If my GM came in here, he'd be able to help me. But I think he's leaving me to do this all on my own, because I'm the one that wanted to do this. So now I gotta try to create a character all by myself. So nobody's talking to me in the chat. In any case, so you got an alchemist, a barbarian, a bard, a cleric, druid, fighter, monk, paladin, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, and wizard. I could do something with magic. That'd be really cool. But magic takes a lot of time. But, I mean, the thing is, this doesn't actually take that long, especially if you're creating a first level, which that's what we're doing. We're creating first level. Now, interesting point, they really push an alchemist goblin. So, I'm not gonna do that. But it's very interesting that they push the alchemist goblin. I don't want to make that, though I did have fun making my goblin character. I really liked the idea that I put with her. Half elf and half orc. Ancestries are accessible through human ancestry feats. So that's another thing with the humans. Notice that there's no ability flaw. And you get 2 free ability boosts, so you could do anything you want. But with every other race, ancestry, every other ancestry, they have 3. They have 2 set and 1 free. But they have a flaw. Maybe I'll be a half-elven sorcerer. Never really made a sorcerer. This seems interesting. What can go wrong? Let's do that. Alright, so I'm gonna make a half-elf sorcerer. I could even... Not even gonna... Sorcerer? Really? Okay. That just looks weird when I write it. Don't very much. In any case, so I get 2 free ability boosts and no ability flaw. Well, obviously, as it says here, your key ability, which, characters each receive an ability boost in their class's key ability score. That's really great. It's awesome, but it also tells you what key ability you should boost the most. Now, I get 2 free, no negatives. I don't have to spend 1 to counter that negative, so that is good. So, with my ancestry, it's going to be human, or it's going to be half-elf. A sorcerer. What do I want to do with it? This is where I would take a suggestion from the chat, if there was anybody in there. Okay, there's nobody in there. Alright, so I really feel left alone here. Half-elf sorcerer. I think I will put 1... Oh, of course I need to put it uses charisma, right? Yeah. Put 1 in charisma, and what I do is I don't even think we'll really be able to see it, but on my paper it's probably not focusing, but I put pluses in each of the column, and then I add them up later. So let's see. Charisma. Wow, it is really lagging behind. And yeah. No, can't. You see lines. I'm sorry. But, so I put 1 in charisma. It says dexterity and constitution are good secondary ability scores, so sure, I'll put 1 in dex. Alright, so that is my ancestry boost. Now my background boost gives me 1 in charisma. No, my background I haven't chose. Right, I forgot. That's my class that gives me 1 in charisma. my background. Now, if you're playing in Doomsday Dawn, if you were playing the Playtest module adventure path that came with it, and you're creating a character for any of the parts of the playtest, you have to use backgrounds that are a part of it, which I will show you now. This is the cover for Doomsday Dawn. Looks pretty gnarly. Locations that it's going to take place in, things that you don't need to be reading. Here we go. The backgrounds. You have Budding Assyrianologist, which is my personal favorite, just because I love Egypt, and Assyrian is Galarian's version of Egypt. With that, you are able to put a single boost in a dexterity or intelligence, and one free. You also gain a feat, which for that one is Trained Stalker Rebel, and you are trained in Ancient Assyrian lore. My chair makes so much wonderful sound. Esoteric Scion. One of your family members belongs to a semi-secret society called the Esoteric Order of the Palatine Eye. You've long held an interest in perhaps someday joining the order and have studied strange topics in preparation for that day. You choose 2 ability boosts. One must be Intelligence or Wisdom, and the other is free. You also gain the Quick Identification feat, and you are trained in Esoteric Order lore. A family friend. Your family has been friends with the Deverans of Magnamar for a generation, which, that's something that starts out, that's a little hint into the adventure path itself, that it deals with Deverans of Magnamar. You would know that name if you played Rise of the Runelords. Grown accustomed to hobnobbing with the aristocracy, even if you have little or no interest in such matters. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be Charisma or Intelligence, and one is a free ability boost. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool right there. You also gain the Hobnobber feat, and you are trained in the Nobility Lore skill. I mean, that could make sense. Goblin Renegade. Dexterity. Why didn't I choose that one? Oh, right, because I'm not doing... Okay, I'm sorry. Back to my character. You've been working with a gang of goblin burglars, but that new leader was no good. It took a lot of guts to stand up to him, but you survived. Now you're stuck with the Longshanks. But maybe you can get back at the old boss. Choose 2 abilities. Wow. 2 ability scores. One must be Dexterity or Charisma, and one is free. You gain the Quick Repair feat, and you're trained in the Criminal Lore skill. Mindquake Survivor. As a child, you once awoke from a particularly harrowing nightmare, and this nightmare has plagued you ever since. You've had strange thoughts and knowledge that you always felt weren't truly your own. Choose 2 ability scores. One must be Constitution or Wisdom, and one is a free ability boost. You gain the Dubious Knowledge feat, and you're trained in the Dominion of the Black Lore skill. Dubious Knowledge. And then, finally, Pathfinder Hopeful. You've long wanted to join the adventurous Pathfinder Society and world-spanning organization of relic hunters. This aspiration has led you to take up the dangerous life of an adventurer, eager to make a name for yourself and gain the attention of the Pathfinder Society. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be Strength or Intelligence, and one is a free ability boost. You gain the additional Lore feat, and you are trained in the Pathfinder Society Lore skill. Now, I'm not going to go over the additional the feats that it gives you because I'm not choosing one from here. We're just going to create a generic character, and it's not going to be specifically for Doomsday Dawn. This is going over funny little mistype here. The lawful neutral has the neutral good little letters big letters. I can't remember what they're called right now. And I'm not gonna, yeah. Your armor class, bulk, stuff we'll get to, ability scores, ability boost, ability flaws. You start with 10, yes, I know. Oh, excuse me. Apparently there's, that's really nice. They included a table. Also notice they didn't include a table over 24. There should be no reason, other than maybe some items that they include in the new game, to go over 24. Numbers are lower in this system. Here's the optional rolling ability scores. We're not going to sit too much on that. You can pause the video if you so choose to read it. Ancestries and backgrounds. Playing half-elves, this is a good thing to read about. Playing a half-elf or half-orc requires building your character as a human, then at first level selecting the half-elf ancestry feat or the half-orc ancestry feat as appropriate. This ancestry feat grants you access to elf and half-elf or orc and half-orc feats, respectively, in addition to human ancestry feats. Wow. Bugs flying in the eye. Stinging mosquitoes. Living in the south sucks. Alright, so we did not choose dwarf. Maybe I should have chose elf instead. What did the elf give you? I wish I could just click on that. What did the elf give you? Dex and free. Constant. Nah, I'll stick with human. Alright. So, ancestries and backgrounds. Elf, elven. Gnome. Gnome. Goblin. The first picture you see of a goblin. It is wonderful. So wonderful. Now let's see. Human. Extra thing about humans is you pick their ethnicity as well, which would make sense. It doesn't add anything to its flavor, but it does help. It tells you what languages they would have more access to depending on where they're from. Excuse me. Told you I was tired. Let's see. Half-elf is born to an elf and a human, or two half-elves. The life of a half-elf can be difficult and marked by a struggle to fit in. Half-elves don't have their own homeland on Galarian, nor are populations of half-elves particularly tied to one another, since they often have very disparate human and elven heritages. Instead, most half-elves attempt to find acceptance in either human or elven settlements. Half-elves often appear primarily human, with subtly pointed ears and a taller stature than most full-blooded humans. Half-elves lack the almost alien eyes of their elf parents, though they do carry a natural presence and often a striking beauty. That leads many to become artists and entertainers. Despite their innate appeal, many half-elves have difficulty forming lasting bonds with humans or elves due to their disconnection they feel from both peoples as a whole. Half-elves live longer than other humans, often reaching an age around 150 years. Less than they previously did in first edition, if I'm not mistaken. This causes some of them to fear friendship and romance with humans, knowing that they'll likely outlive their companions. Oh. Let's see. You create a half-elf character by selecting the half-elf human ancestry feat at first level. This gives you access to elf and half-elf ancestry feats in addition to human ancestry feats, from which you can select ancestry feats at a later level. There won't be, other than that one, you won't be collecting an ancestry feat right now, today. So, oh no, my phone is going to die. If only I had a phone charger. Well, I'll just turn that off then. Alright, so either one of your parents was an elf, or you have pointed ears and eat. Let's see, half-elf heritage human. You have pointed ears and other telltale signs of elf heritage. Using the elf trait, select 2 of the following benefits. Elven speed, increase your speed by 5 feet. Elven tongue, add Elven to your list of languages. Gifted speaker, you are trained in diplomacy, or low light vision. You can see in dim light as well as you can see in bright light. In addition, you can select elf, half-elf, and human feats whenever you gain an ancestry feat. Interesting. So you can take this one twice and get all 4 of those. Well, that's not part of that's not part of what we're looking at here. We're trying to get the backgrounds. Huh. Yay. Hey, look. Backgrounds. Alrighty, let's see. You have Acolyte. You spent your early days in a religious monastery or cloister. You may have traveled out into the world to spread the message of your religion, or because you cast away the teachings of your faith, but deep inside you'll always carry the lessons. Hey, look. I get a phone cord. I actually have, my charger should be in my bag. Right there.
Battery pack?
Yes. Thank you.
What's that? What's this?
Thank you. My phone won't die now, guys. My phone won't die. Were you watching me?
No.
Oh. It said there's 2 people watching me.
Well, neither of them were me.
Well, one was me. I was watching myself on my phone. Because, you know. Yay. And also, just to warn you guys, my mother will be walking in eventually. She says that she will be quiet, but hopefully. I don't exactly have a studio to do this in. This is just me being stupid. I know, I'm not being stupid. Whatever. My GM's gonna say something.
According to Matt from the main viewers, apparently he still reports in his closet, so.
I mean, it's a more closed off room than the entire center of our house.
I'm just saying, he doesn't exactly report in the studio either.
No. He has a quiet closet to himself.
Not at the main viewers.
This is true. Holy crap, that dude's amazing. Alright, back to choosing these background. That's what I was trying to think of. So with this background, Constitution or Wisdom, and then 1 free. Not what we're looking for. Choose to ability boost, Strength or Dexterity. Again, not what we're looking for. We're looking for Charisma. Why is that? They just messed up on that animal whisperer one, and it's that one line is bold. Oh, I meant to ask him for a drink. Now my DM is gone. GM is gone. We don't play Dungeons and Dragons. We play Pathfinder. So he's not a dungeon master. He's a game master. Alright, Constitution and Charisma. That's an interesting one. I could have been a barkeep that is also a sorcerer. You have 5 specialties: hefting barrels, polishing signs, drinking, and drinking. You ran or worked in a bar where you learned how to hold your liquor and readily socialize. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be Constitution or Charisma, and one is free. You gain the Hobnobber skill feat, and you're trained in the alcohol lore. Yes, you read that right. You heard me say that right. Alcohol lore. Instead of having knowledge skills that are a select list of like 8, there is unlimited lore skill, because it just says lore, and then you write in whatever the lore is when things give you lore. And yes, there is alcohol lore. So what you'd use that for? I'm not entirely sure. That would be up to your GM and you. We mulled over a few joking ideas of what I know the contents or what alcohol would look, what it would look like. This alcohol that would get somebody so blindly drunk in like one shot. Roll an alcohol lore. You rolled high enough. Yes, you know this specific alcohol. You know that it'll work well with this elven body. And then you can give it to them and you can make them pass out drunk from one shot. So, barkeep is a possibility just for what it gives me, not going by narrative choices. Let's see. What was that one? Blacksmith. Blacksmith gives you strength and intelligence, and then a strength or intelligence and a free ability boost. Criminal gives you dexterity or intelligence. Entertainer gives you dexterity or charisma. Let's see. Through an education in the arts or sheer dogged practice, you learn to entertain crowds. You might have been an actor, a dancer, a musician, a magician. Ooh, I could have been a magician. Or any other sort of performer. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be dexterity, one must be or charisma, and one is free. You gain the fascinating performance skill feat, and you're trained in entertainment lore. That would also be a really obviously really good one for a bard. Farmhand, Constitution and Wisdom. Gladiator, Strength and or Charisma. Interesting! The bloody games of the arena taught you the art of combat. Before you attained true fame, you departed or escaped the arena to explore the world. Your skill at drawing both blood and a crowd's attention pay off in a new adventuring life. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be strength or charisma, and one is free. You gain the fascinating performance skill feat as well, and you are trained in the gladiatorial lore skill. Hunter, you gain dexterity and wisdom. I keep saying and, it's or. Dexterity or wisdom. Laborer, strength or constitution. Merchant, intelligence or charisma. In a dusty shop, market stall, or merchant caravan, you bartered wares for coin and trade goods. The skills you picked up still apply in adventuring life, in which a deal on a suit of armor could save your life. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be intelligence or charisma, and one is free. You gain the bargain hunter skill feat, and you are trained in the mercantile lore skill. Noble. Intelligence or charisma? To the common folk, the life of a noble seems one of idyllic luxury. But growing up as a noble or a member of the aspiring gentry, you know the reality. A noble's lot is obligation and intrigue. Whether you seek to escape your duties by adventuring, or to thereby better your station, you have traded skills and pageantry for an adventurer's life. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be intelligence or charisma, and one is a free ability boost. You gain the courtly graces skill feat, and you are trained in the nobility lore skill. That one's an interesting one. Nomad, which gives constitution or wisdom. Sailor, strength or dexterity. Scholar, intelligence or wisdom. Scout, dexterity or wisdom. Street urchin, dexterity or intelligence. Warrior, strength or constitution. Alright, so we see my choices are noble, barkeep, gladiator, merchant. I don't know, I kind of really like that barkeep. Let me think. A barkeep, half-elf, sorcerer. We're gonna go with it and see where this goes. That seems interesting. Alright, so it gives a plus in charisma, and then one that's free. So we're gonna go ahead and I don't know. Con, intelligence, or wisdom? I guess. Should she be wise, intelligence, or hardy? I think she'd be hardy. So we will do con. Alright, so that's our B for background. Now C, our class. These are also languages. And there are sign languages for spoken languages. Interesting. Okay. Regional. Classes. We are doing a sorcerer, so it's all the way at the end. Still not me. Alright, let's see. Let's see here. Let's go all the way to the end, darling. Let's get down here. Animal totems. That's the barbarian. Alright, to where are we here? This is the bard. I am playing a bard in my with my goblin. It is a goblin bard. Intimidating strike. What is this? The ranger, the rogue. We're getting closer, darling. Closer indeed. Rogue feats. Feats for days. No. Not the human fighter anymore. You don't get feats for days. Hey, there we go. There's our sorcerer. She's so pretty. Didn't choose to become a spellcaster. You were born one. There's magic in your blood. Whether divinity touched one of your ancestors, a forebear communed with a primal creature, or a powerful occult ritual has influenced your line. Regardless, self-reflection and study allow you to refine your inherent magical skills and continuously unlock new and more powerful abilities. The power in your blood carries a risk, however, and you constantly face the choice of whether you'll rise to become a master spellcaster or fall into destruction. The interesting thing about the sorcerer, you don't have a set, well, you will, but as it starts, you don't have a specific spell list. You, as a sorcerer, get to choose of the 4 spell lists which ones you cast from. So your key ability score is charisma. So you put 1 in charisma. Now the last part of creating your stats is you get 4 free ability scores to boost to place wherever you want. Now this is why it helps to do it in a column like I did for A, B, and C, is each step of the character creation for your stats. Good Lord, it took me this long just to do stats. I am terrible. I am so sorry. But each column, A, B, C, and F, you can only put 1 boost or flaw. So if you have for your ancestry, if you have a flaw in intelligence, you can't also put your free boost in intelligence to mark. You could do that on your free side, or if you chose a class that gave you a boost in intelligence, that would counter it. But you can't have more than 1 flaw or boost, whichever it is, in the same ability score, in the same stat in the column. So now, at the end, you get to put 4 free boosts wherever you want, as long as they're not in the same stat. So we're of course going to put 1 in charisma. I want to put another one. Another interesting thing is I don't necessarily want to put another one in Dex, because she's going to be a sorcerer, but she's I'm assuming gonna be using her spells more than she's going to be, say, using a bow. And something really cool about 2nd edition that I've learned so far is you don't use a ranged melee attack unless it says so, but I don't think it does. I haven't read all the spells, so everything that I've done so far with my bard, I've used my spell roll. There's a new thing called a spell roll, and I've used that whenever I've rolled a ranged attack, such as with projectile. Let me look it up in my book. I have a pretty little binder. It is called telekinetic projectile. That's what it is. I use my spell roll instead of, say, my dex and proficiency to hit the target, the enemy. So I don't necessarily need anything in dex, anything more than I already have. I went ahead and put the 2nd free one for my ancestry in dex. So I will put 1 in con. Make sure that she lives. She's got some health to her. Another interesting thing, if you would like, you can make a really beefy wizard. That's how this stuff works now. Alright, so I've got 2 more. I think I'm going to make her more of a mental character. So I'm going to put 1 in intelligence and 1 in wisdom. I don't necessarily know why I did 1 in intelligence. I mean, yeah, because your skills, you still get that from, so that's fine. Alright, so my stats come out to be a 10 in strength, a 12 in dexterity, a 14 in con, 12 in intelligence and wisdom, and an 18 in charisma, which gives me a +0 in strength, a +1 in dex, a +2 in con, a +1 in both intelligence and wisdom, and a +4 in charisma. Now at the bottom of your sheet you will see the ability scores there. The modifier number. The modifier location is the bigger box, or it's not a box anymore, it's just a line. It's a bigger line, and then the score is a little small box. So go ahead and write that. I'd like to use a separate piece of paper first. That way that you can erase and change things and go back, and you don't have to worry about constantly erasing on your paper. There's also now, which I probably should have done this, I don't know why I didn't. Let me just do this. I went ahead and printed out paper because I'm so used to printing out papers, but there's actually a character sheet, an editable character sheet on here. So let's go ahead and pull up that editor character sheet. So, in the bottom down here, you have your scores. So her score for strength is actually a 10. The score for con, what did I say it was? Oh right, it was a 14. Well, it'd be good if my number lock was on. Alrighty. Did that work? Nope, that did not work because it was not on there. Oh, you know, it might just need to be 14 and not 1014. Her wisdom is a 12. Her dex is also a 12. I do wish they had the physical stats on this side and the mental stats on this side, but they don't. Her intelligence is also 12. And her charisma, oh, she is a charismatic motherfucker, is an 18. Also, I need to write down that she is a barkeep, or was a barkeep before she became an adventurer, and what that gave me, because I forgot to write that down. Alright, so, technically, I can open up this multiple times. Rulebook. Usually I can open it multiple times. Let me do this, then. Okay, well, you know what? Never mind. It did work. I had it up twice at one point in time. I don't know how I did that. I don't know. Don't know how I did it. I did it. I'll figure it out. So, you know what? I bet I can just search for this. And find the. There we go. It gave me that, and then it gave me hobnobber feet. Which I'll have to find out what that is. And then it gave me the alcohol lore. And I am trained in this. That matters. Not just saying, hey, you're trained in it. The word trained specifically matters. And I'll get to that here in a second. So, now you want to go back, have it, get all that written down. I'm going to bring this to 100%. And I'll just scroll around if need be. That doesn't need to be that big, because my computer likes to be a pain in the butt. Get it on it. Right there. And then there goes my kitty running across the living room. kitchen. Alright, there we go. That way that I can go down to the bottom and that will stop popping up and telling me that it's really late. Oh, not really late, but needless to say. Alright, so we got that. Now let's go back to our ancestry, which is currently human. Alright. We'll get there. So everybody wants to talk about humans. Because they're humans. Humans. It's gonna pull up every humanoid trait. Halflings. I think we're on human now. Cool. Wow, human's such a generic term. It really is. Alrighty, so your hit points. Again, write it on a separate piece of paper because it changes. You get 8 hit points from being human. Your speed, currently, especially because we're making half elf, things will change, is 25. Now, you start speaking common, and then one additional language selected from those to which you have access. It says that because, as I pointed out earlier, you could be from different areas. For some reason, my camera stopped working. And you have this nice little picture of me being all weird in the corner there. Turn that off. And try to turn it. There we go. That's fixed. I don't have the greatest equipment either. Not that. But as I had said, you could be from different places. Is it working now? For a moment. If I go off of this, is that working? I don't know what's going on with that. This keeps happening though. I don't know why. But in any case, you can move from different places in Galarian, and that will give you access to different languages. I'm not sure where she's going to be from yet. Probably, I don't know, we'll see. She's going to be half human, half elf. I don't know yet. Don't really, it's not something that has to be chosen right now. You can choose that later. That's kind of a flavor thing. So we're not really going to worry about that. That can be added later. The next thing we're going to do is go to the class. That's going to be your biggest. Oh, let's not forget. We are taking half elf. Go ahead and choose that real quick. UNL traits and get Elven as you know what Elven tongue. Go ahead and take that as one of them, and that will be the language that she knows, the extra language. And then, I don't know points of low light vision. I don't know speed. Nah. Honestly, that would be nice because it's not one I have to take. I think I'm gonna take a gifted Elven tongue and gifted speaker. Alright, so that's then we can get to class. And then, actually, why did I type class? I should have typed sorcerer. Oh yeah. There we go. Cool. Alright, so with sorcerer you get 6 plus your constitution modifier. So her constitution modifier is a +2, +8, +6. Which means it is a total of 16 at first level. We can go ahead and enter that. So constitution or her max health is 16. Alright. Perception. She is trained. Here's another thing. There are proficiencies in the game. And it's, I guess, similar to Pathfinder 5th edition. I haven't made a character out enough. I know they mentioned proficiency. And I was under the influence or under the impression that it was just whether or not you were trained in it and it added your level. However, in Pathfinder 2nd edition, there is trained, expert, master, and legendary. That's what all those T, E, M, and L, these little boxes here, are. When you're trained, it means you have 0, or you have +0, and you add your level. If you are untrained, it's a -2 plus your level. If you are an expert, it is +1, master is +2, and legendary is +3, plus your level. So in this proficiency box here, you would write 1 because your current level is 1. Let's go ahead and write the ancestry, which is a half L. Your size is medium. Your background is a barkeep. Class is sorcerer. Not worrying about alignment. Go ahead and do the languages, which is Common and Elven. We're gonna go with it's a female because I don't really make male characters. I could, just generally don't. Alright, so her perception, wisdom, proficiency, which means it's a +2. She does not have low light vision. She does not have dark vision. So when she rolls, she gets a +2 to her perception. Then again, remember it's only first level. We're only creating first level. Alrighty, so she is trained in Fortitude and Reflex, and an Expert in Will. So you come down here to the Fortitude and Reflex, and no, she's not mastered. I wish she was mastered. And you mark what she's trained in, or if she's trained or expert. And then her proficiency, again, is a +1, since for trained, and it will be a +2 for the expert, which will mean it's a +3 fortitude, a +2 reflex, and a +3 will save. Alrighty, skills. You are trained in a number of skills equal to 5 plus your intelligence modifier. Now I need to pull something up real quick because I think I remember. I don't have it on here. Oh well. There was another. Oh, it's on my phone. That's why. There is another thing that came out last week for an updated rulebooks of some things. I need to make sure that nothing has changed for the sorcerer. Okay. Also, part of the updates. All classes are trained in unarmored defense. That means that if you're not taking any armor, you're trained still. I think. I'm assuming that's what unarmored defense means. Alchemist, Bard, Rangers, and for the sorcerer in the Bloodline signature skills subsection of reading a Bloodline entry, change the description to you add the list of skills to your signature skill. So we'll have to choose a Bloodline. That will spell attack features as indicated by your blood. That will choose whether you're using arcane, divine, occult, or primal spells. And we're not going to get to that quite yet. However, let's see. In the sneak action, silver-range weapons. In the sling, injury change its hands to 1. In the spell chapter and the spell attack section, other updates, Alchemist, the Alchemist, the Sticky Bomb, Domains, the first bullet point in the Paladin, Rogue, Die Hard Feat, Fast Recovery, Chill Touch Spell, Counters, Performance. Yeah, I think that looks like that's about all that changed. Okay, that's good. Wait, hang on. Yeah, okay. That looks like that's about. Okay, so we're trained in 5 skills equal to 5 plus your intelligence. So she will end up getting, with her intelligence modifier +1, she will get 6 skills. Oh, that sucks. Good thing I'm trained in unarmored defense, and I'm only trained in simple weapons. Okay, so come over here, and you'll mark you are trained in simple weapons, and you're not trained in any armor, so you are trained in unarmored defense. I might need my GM to come explain that to me. Haven't looked that up. So let's go down here. The bloodlines presented in this book are as follows. Aberrant, an unknowable and strange influence gives you occult spells. Angelic, holy grace gives you divine spells. Demonic, and malign Disruption gives you divine spells. Please make fun of me for mispronouncing that word because we're all perfect. The Blood of Dragons gives you arcane spells. Fae, influence from Fae or other creatures of the first world give you primal spells. Or an ancient power gives you arcane spells. Imperial. So you have 2 ways to get arcane, 2 ways to get divine, and 1 way to get primal or occult. Once you get first level, you get an ancestry feat. You already took the ancestry feat to become a half elf. You get your background. We already took our background. You need to choose a bloodline and a bloodline power. You get your initial proficiencies, sorcerer, spellcasting, and spell repertoire. Spell repertoire is what your spells known was previously. Okay, so what do we want? What kind of spellcaster do we want her to be? Yeah, I think she went through like 3 different. What do we want her to be? I don't necessarily want to go with the. She could be a divine. Thinking arcane. I think I'm gonna go with draconic. It's gonna be weird. Draconic. The bloodline. Now, something we need to do and can do is we can go over here because there's 2 pages here, right? So we can write down what our ancestry feat was, which was half elf. Now, we all are. With the background, the page thing. Oh yeah, it's right here. And that is Hobnobber. Alrighty, back to the rulebook. Let's see what our. Where does it say our ancestors are? Ah, see bloodlines on 129 and 130. Alrighty. Can now please open another freaking rulebook? Oh, this is frustrating. Alright, that's it. I'm not too far away from blue lines anyways. Who am I kidding? Alright. Reading a bloodline entry. A bloodline entry contains the following information. Spell list. Bloodline signature skills. Granted spells. Bloodline powers. Alright, so we chose a draconic. The blood of dragons flows through your veins. These beasts are both fearsome in combat and skilled at magic, and you follow in their grand tradition. Spell list is arcane. My signature spells are acrobatics, arcana, athletics, intimidation. Let's go ahead and mark that over here, because there's a little check mark box here. So, athletics. No, acrobatics, not athletics. I don't need that up anymore. We're not looking at that. Acrobatics. Arcana. Oh, and athletics. Arcana. Athletics. Intimidation. And then, before we go any further, also had crafting. So useful. Oh, and we're trained in diplomacy. So useful. Probably should have looked at those. Oh well. I'm intimidating. Then again, I was a barkeep. So I can damn well be intimidating. Alright. Granted spells. Detect magic as a cantrip. So that goes. Then you get fear, resist energy, enthrall, fly, chromatic wall, dragon form, finger of death, power word stun, meteor swarm. That's really cool. Bloodline powers. Initial power, dragon claws. Advanced power, dragon breath. And greater power, dragon wings. Dragon type. At first level, you choose a type of dragon that influenced your bloodline. This will affect how some of your bloodline powers function. You can't change your dragon type later. The good metallic dragons and their associated damage types are brass, fire, bronze, electricity, copper, acid, gold, fire, silver, cold. The evil chromatic dragons and their associated damage types are. Wait. Okay, I did say metallic, right? I think I said metallic. But also chromatic dragons and their associated damage types are black, acid, blue, electricity, green, poison, red, fire, and white, cold. I think. I think I'm going to go with. I don't know much about dragons, so this is gonna. I don't know how this will work out, but I'm gonna go with a silver dragon, and I'm gonna say cold. Why? Because me. Technically, why I chose good, I'm not sure. So, now that I've went ahead and finished that bloodline there, go back up here to the top, and we need to do our skills. So, I've got 5 plus my intelligence, which makes it 6 skills that I can be trained in. Now, the thing about your signature skills is this. Because you wonder, does a signature skill give you the +3 like in first edition? No, it does not. Instead, signature skills are the only skills, as of right now, that you can become master or legendary in. So right now I have intimidation, crafting, athletics, arcana, and acrobatics as my signature skills. So later on, I would be able to become master or legendary in those. I believe there's a feat also that you can take, maybe to make something a signature skill. I sure hope so, because I want some other things to be signature skills that aren't signature skills. So let's see, what are we going to put trained in? I'm definitely going to be trained in Arcana, so that's 1. I would want to be trained. I'm trained in lore, and it's an alcohol lore. We can't exactly write it on here, but there's not really a. I guess I could put in a bonus feat thing. We'll do that. So, almost forgot about that. You can go ahead and come through. That's fine. Let's see. So that's 1. Go ahead and put 1 in deception. And I don't know, medicine? Oh, not expert. Trained. So let's see what we got. Hey, there's my front door opening. Hi, door. Everybody say hi to the door. It's actually my mom going outside to feed the cats because we have outdoor cats. Lots of them. And also possums and raccoons. And I live in the sticks. I live in the south. So most of it's the sticks. Let's see. So diplomacy and that. So we got 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. And 6. Sure, we'll go with that. Let's fill that in. We get proficiency 1 from all the ones that are trained. We take a -2 to the untrained, but since you still add your level to -1, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. I don't have to put that one in because that's just a rule. Plus 1 plus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 minus 1 and minus 1. Alright, so then we can fill this in. You get 2, 2 minus 1, 0, 5, no, whoops, 5, 5, 5, 2, 2, 0, 0, 3. I still have 3 in performance. That's great. 0. Oh, plus 1 there. So that's a 2. That's a 0. At least I don't take any negatives for stealth. Okay. So that's done. Then you'd go and you would choose some spells. Let's see. Bloodline power. We don't have to choose that. Initial proficiency. You can put your bloodline power here, which for her is bloodline power is Dragon Claws. Bloodline power. Alright, so Dragon Claws. She gets sorcerer spells per day. She gets 2 first level spells per day. And some of your spells are cantrips. A cantrip is a special type of spell that doesn't use any spell slots. You can cast a cantrip at will any number of times per day. Cantrip is always automatically heightened to the highest level of spells you can cast as a sorcerer. For example, as a first level sorcerer, the highest spell level you can cast is first. So your cantrips are first level spells. At 5th level sorcerer, the highest level spell you can cast is third. So your cantrips are 3rd level spells. That is great. There's also something else to note in that. In 1st edition, if you used all of your spell slots or spell points, most people play with spell slots, but there was also spell points. If you used all of your spell slots, you couldn't cast your cantrips either. You were spent on all of your magical ability. It does not say that thus far for the playtest, so perhaps that is not true anymore. Also, your cantrips get so much better as you've leveled. This is it's amazing. Even at first level, my bard that I created used telekinetic projectile. It did a D10, and it had the highest chance to hit because of my casting stat. Was my highest stat than any other means of attack. That is amazing. In first edition, my first level, who was it? My first level Inquisitor had a +2 to hit, I think, because she had no BAB, and it was just her dex because she was using a bow. Had like a +2 or +3 to hit. My bard has a +4. My bow did a D8. No other. I had a composite composite longbow +2 maybe. So I had like a +2 on it. But still, if I rolled max damage, I would hit the max damage of a cantrip for the second edition. It's amazing. So you get what does it say? How many? Second. Each day you can cast up to 2 first level spells plus an extra first level spell due to the power of your bloodline. Sweet. So I can cast no spells you can cast each day or call your spell slots. You must know spells to cast them, and you learn them by the spell or class feature. As you increase in level, so okay. Spell repertoire. At first level, you learn 2 first level spells of your choice and 4 cantrips of your choice, as well as an additional spell and cantrip from your bloodline. So, over here, we're going to go ahead and put it in here, because we get them. Come back to this page real quick. Cantrip, detect magic. Detect magic. It is, and then fear is the first level spell. There are things here that you can say what the actions are for them. Your spell DCs. Your ability modifier, you are automatically training. Your proficiency is 1. So it's 5, and your DC is 10 plus your roll, which is 15. I have a +5 to hit if I'm using like telekinetic projectile. If I get one of those, I'm pretty sure I do because it comes from the no Bardis are cult. Interesting. Bardis and cult. I don't know what's on the arcane spell list. But so we are spontaneous, arcane. We get 2 first level spell slots. I don't know that. So, back up here. We get 4 orisons. And all that comes from page. Where did it say? Your spell casting spells. It's 300 and something. Oh. see page 130. How am I missing it? I'm just reading too fast. Alright, that's it. 1. Front cover. Table of contents. Spells. 199. Okay. Arcane. Spell trick. Spells. Acid Splash. Chill Touch. Dancing Lights. Daze. Detect Magic. Disrupt Undead. All the ones with the H can be heightened. Electric Arc. Ooh. Ghost Sound. Light. Mage Hand. Message. Prestidigitation. Produce Flame. Ray of Frost. Read Aura. Shield. Sigil. Tanglefoot. And Telekinetic Projectile. So, we of course know which one some of the ones I'm taking. Telekinetic Projectile. Let me just do this, because I'm a lamer. And then you can come over here. And let's see, I already get Detect Magic, so let's see what Electric Arc does. You know, maybe I should spell. Whatever. Electric Arc. And this is a great thing to show it, actually. It shows that it takes 2 actions, semantic and verbal castings, 30 feet, 1 or 2 creatures, so you can target multiple creatures. You deal 1d6 electricity damage. Each target must attempt a reflex save. Heightening increases damage. Success. There are also 4 levels of success. You have success, critical success, failure, and critical failure. As you see here, success, the target takes half damage. If they succeed, this is if they succeed on the save. You don't have to roll anything. If they critically succeed, they take no damage. Now, criticals are also different in 2nd edition. Natural 20s and natural 1s are always critical success or failure, respectively. However, as long as you hit them. So if you if a 20 plus 5 doesn't hit their AC, it should. But if it doesn't, I don't know if you hit. I think you still hit, but you don't crit. I'm not 100% sure. And my DM is in the other room and can't hear me because he's not watching. Huh? Yeah, it's fine. Thank you, though. In any case, but you can also crit if you go 10 over their AC or the DC. Your AC is also just a DC. So if it's a DC for a spell or a reflex save, or if it goes 10 over what was needed to succeed, you critical succeed. And the same goes in reverse for failure and critical failure. So if you critical fail on your reflex save, you will take double damage. It's a cantrip, so it's automatically heightened. So at 3rd level, the damage is 1d6 plus your ability modifier. At 9th level, it's 46 plus your ability modifier. For a cantrip that you can cast forever. Just casting. Cast. And another cast. of electric arc. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna notate that. Because I'm gonna see what we already know where I'm taking the telekinetic projectile. Let's jump back here to 198 here. Acid splash. Let's see what does acid splash do in this one. If I could spell splash. Splash. Right. Here we go. Also, 30 feet, one creature or object. You splash a glob of acid and make a ranged touch attack. This one you have to roll for. If you hit, you deal 1d4 acid damage plus 1 splash damage. On a critical success, the target takes 1 persistent acid damage. Damage increases depending on your level, as it's a cantrip and is always heightened. That's gives splash damage, not the greatest. Alright. Chill touch. A lot of people get chill touch. Your touch weakens. It's ranger's touch. Oh, it's a necromancy. One living or undead creature. Weakens the living and disorients the undead. Make a melee touch attack. The effect of a hit depends on whether the target is living or dead. Heightening increases damage. Living creature 1d8 negative damage. On a critical hit, double the damage and enfeebled 1 for 1 round. Undead creatures, flat-footed for 1 round. On a critical hit, it's also fleeing for 1 round unless it succeeds at a will save. Again, interesting. Don't think I want it though. Alright. Ghost Sound, Light, Mage Hand. I'll probably take Mage Hand. Be a good utility spell. Prestidigitation is very different in this edition because every one gets it. It's 10 feet, 1 object, but it works. Arcane has access to all of these. The only one that makes it truly useful in my perspective. Because before it was just that it could do a lot of everything, just small. Now it depends on what pool you're pulling from. So Arcane and Primal can cook. Chill, warm, and flavor a pound of non-living cereal. Arcane, Divine, and Occult can slowly lift an unattended object of light bulk or less 1 foot off the ground. Bulk is your weight now, not your character's weight, but weight of objects now. Instead of it being pounds and you can only carry so many pounds, you can carry so many bulk, and items have specific bulk or negligible weight or light, or it costs 1 bulk. We'll get into that probably next time because I'm going to choose my spells and that's going to be it for the character creation. I'll do equipment next time. I probably should have technically done the spells next time. But then you got make, you can create. So I'll probably take Prestidigitation as well. I've got 1 more, maybe. No, I don't have 1 more if I take all 3 of them. But we'll see. I might cancel one of those out. Produce flame. What does shield do in this one? Lots of shield. Looking for the... There we go. Forever casting until your next turn or until dismissed. You raise a magical shield of force to protect you. This counts as using the Raise a Shield action to gain a +1 circumstance bonus to AC until the start of your next turn. though it doesn't require hand to use. While the spell is in effect, you can also use the shield block reaction with your magic shield. The shield has a hardness of 4. After you use shield block, the spell is dismissed and you can't cast it again for 10 minutes. Unlike a normal shield block, you can use the spell's reaction against the magic missile spell. Interesting! It's a way to deflect magic missile. The hardness goes up for the levels. No. Maybe if I get more cantrips out later. I think, let's see what Ray of Frost is. Alright, 60 feet. Make a ranged touch attack against target. If you hit, you deal 1d8 cold damage, double damage on critical, heighten the spell. So it's a d8. I think I'm gonna go with what I have, which is telekinetic projectile, prestidigitate, electric arc, mage hand, and prestidigitation. I don't even know if I spelled that right. Who cares? Because it's a crazy long word. And I get 1 first level spell. Luckily, there's a short-ish list of first level spells. Do I get 1 or do I get 2? I think I get 2. You're right, I should get 2. Color spray, feather fall, jump, mage ult, magic missiles, great. Always hits. And let's go ahead and pick a second one because I'm pretty sure I get 2. And if I don't, I can erase it. Interesting. Mending is a first level spell now. I'll look that up in a minute. Let's go with Burning Hands. Alright, I want to look up Mending. A lot of people get Mending. 1 hour. Touch. You remove the broken condition from the target if it is broken, or repair 1 dent if it is taken in dent. Heightened. You can target a non-magical 1 volt or less. And 2 volt. Huh. Alright, so what page? What was that? Like 87 or something? That's fighter. It was on 125 of its season. So, first level you learn 2 first level spells of your choice. Okay. Alright, so there we go. We got our spells done. We got the only thing left is to do equipment, which I don't know. I don't know if I'm really gonna go over it too much, except for to explain. I'll do her equipment later. To explain the bulk. The bulk is what things weigh 1 bulk, 2 bulk, and some weigh light. Some have a little dash, and it's negligible. You don't have to count that at all. 10 light items make 1 bulk. You can only carry 5 plus your strength, which my strength is 0 modifier, so I can have a bulk of 5. I'm not encumbered right now. Or here, my max is 10. So you can you're not going to be carrying as much, and it's actually a little, it's a lot easier. I almost said a little bit. It is a lot easier to calculate weight and what you can carry now. Say like you want some arrows. Okay, there's 10 arrows per bundle, and 100 arrows. They're light. A bundle is light, so 100 arrows is bulk. But if you carry 90 arrows, it's one light. It's a light item until you get to one bulk. So you can carry 90 items, 90 arrows, and it'll be light. And now, granted, if there's like negligible items and you're carrying, say, 5,000 pieces of chalk, because chalk is negligible, it's up to your GM's discretion to go, okay, no, that weighs a lot more than nothing. But that's how this thing works. So you go through, you make sure you buy whatever equipment you want, and you can have up to your max bulk. Now, something I didn't, well, technically you'll be encumbered after 5, but the max you can carry is 10. And that'll mess with your speed, I think. Another thing is things are scaled down to where silver is the currency of choice. That is the standard currency. Instead of gold, it is silver pieces. So things are a lot cheaper than what you're used to. It's not. I mean, things are cheaper, granted, because like healing potions are 3 gold or 30 gold or something. I don't remember exactly. Something else that we didn't talk about, it's at the bottom here, is resonance. Oh no, stay. It goes off your charisma and your level. So my charisma is 4, my level is 1, my max is 5. We don't really have to deal much with resonance right now because we don't have, as first level, you're not going to have magic items. So you, your resonance messes with your magic items, your ability to use wands and drink potions. That'll be gone over at a later time, I think. I don't know if I'm going to sit down and do anything about those because I'm not the GM. I'm just a player that is listening to my GM and we're playtesting it. But that is essentially how you create a character. For me, as this thing has been going on for like 2.5 hours, technically that didn't take a long time if you played Pathfinder First Edition. Playing or creating a character in First Edition takes forever because you have so many options. There's so many spells. Good lord, if you want to play Spellcaster, you have all these spells that you have to go through, and there will be more options. This is just the playtest, but it's to me it's so much more streamlined. You don't have to roll dice. You just have to have the handbook. As long as you have the core rulebook, you can create a character. You don't have to go get an app for dice. You don't have to have dice with you. It's a lot easier, and you're not worried about rolling an odd number and that 15 is wasted. You know, which my GM was really nice anyways, and let us odd switch so that they were useful. Because if you had a lot of even or a lot of odds, you might as well have the lower even anyways. So, you don't have to worry about that. There are some things that about the playtest that I'm not extremely fond of. That gameplay. It was really harsh in our session that we played last week. That I will be playing tomorrow night as when this is streaming. We'll probably play that one, and then I'll upload another or do another live stream and talk about our first session and our second session. Because our first session, I very close to cried at the end of our session, and we're sitting at the table, and I was like, went into a depressive state for a minute. Oh, also something back on this page that reminded me, talking about that reminded me of something here. Hero points. It is a thing in this edition. You start out with 1 hero point every session. Your GM is permitted to award you more hero points, up to 3 or 4. I think it's 4 per session. It says in the Pathfinder playtest. Also, go download the playtest, because guess what? It's free. All you have to do, I mean, yes, you can go to D20 PFSRD, but how many how many games out there that are this thought out, this set up, have free books? Not many. The playtest, you just go to this little link right here, paizo.com/Pathfinder playtest. You don't even have to go to that full link. You can just go to paizo.com and it'll be there. You can download the rulebook. You can download them all if you would like. You can go down to a list of downloads. Everything you need is free. So go check out the rulebook, read it, create yourself a character. I know you might be hesitant, and I was. My GM could not talk enough about how hesitant, how unsure I was about this playtest. And I'm not necessarily unsure. There's still things that I'm probably not going to like, but there's things that I don't necessarily like in the first edition. Everybody's going to have their likes and dislikes, the pros and cons of the systems. And it's going to take some getting used to. You gotta think a little bit more right now in the playtest. You can't be so gung-ho, because the roles can go different ways. And with the critical system, it's a lot easier to get a critical hit, especially if you have even a +2 higher than anything that the players can can hit. If even having a +2 higher, the monsters can hit a lot easier. I believe it's 10% more. They have a 10% chance more to hit, and it can get pretty brutal. So, like I said, I'm rambling now, but I'll go over those things next time, probably Tuesday. I stream this and tell y'all about last week's session and tomorrow's session, and hopefully my character or my other party members' characters survive. But as for now, that was creating not the easiest character to create, technically, because I chose a spellcaster. So, half-elf sorcerer. If anybody happens to leave a comment in there, that would be great. Awesome. Subscribe for really random and out there content. I don't upload a lot. I might try to a little bit more in the future. I don't know what I'll be uploading. But also in the comments, if you happen to watch this video, leave me a suggestion for the name. Yes, I'm asking the internet for a name for this half-elf sorcerer who is a barkeep. Elfie barkeep. I figure that's going to be somewhere in there if anybody on the internet tries to name it something like that. But in all seriousness, y'all want to name it? Comment the name. Otherwise, it's going to be a half-elf sorcerer that probably never gets played. Hey, she might get played. There are 4 different people that you have to build in the playtest, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But as for now, that's all. Thank you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye!